really enjoyed this book. Um, I'm not a physicist in the background, my education, uh, not even quite. I was never good at math. So I was pretty skeptical when I first got into this, or when I first picked it up from the library, because um, I didn't know if there was going to be like a lot of equations or not, but in the introduction, he says that there's only one equation in the book because he wrote a book 20 years prior to this one. And it was like, he couldn't understand it because it was all math and complex physicist stuff. So this is A Brief History in Time from the Big Bang to Black Holes by Stephen Hawking. If you don't know who Stephen Hawking is, he was a professor at Cambridge University in London and was a brilliant mind, Lou Gehrig's disease, and this book is him talking about, it's quite literally a history of time. He talks about the history of the universe and like how him and his colleagues, or peers, I should say, over the span of, thousands of years from Aristotle till him, and, his predictions a little bit beyond of the universe. He talks about people like Isaac Newton and Galileo Galilei. He talks a little bit about Aristotle. He talks a little bit about himself, and then other physicists or research students that he's come across. And Albert Einstein, he talks about the only equation in the book is E equals mc squared, which is the theory of relativity. Anyway, I'm not trying to give a discourse on physics because I would not be the correct person to do that. But I'm just trying to say that as a non-math-minded person, this book was pretty good. He speaks pretty clearly. It's enjoyable to read, and he clearly has some kind of like passion for physics, because he makes it easy to understand. It was written in 1988, pre-internet days, so we don't have all that information. Yeah, I mean, it's a relatively short book. It's about 200 pages long. So if you can pick up a copy from your local library or whatever, however you choose to get books, I would recommend reading it to somebody who likes to read, and a lot of the time I have read a few self-help books, and there's that premise that like if you know what you want, then you can get what you want using the self-help book. And this is different because it's not about, it's quite literally a professor of physics teaching physics, and it's not necessarily like it's still, I think, of widespread interest, but it's not mathematical necessarily. There are like numbers in the book, not really equations. There's pictures of like ellipses and stars. He talks about neutron stars. He talks about black holes. He talks about creation and how they think that it could have happened. Like the Big Bang is a theory, right? And there's, of course, always a question of like what caused the Big Bang. Um, like I said, I'm not trying to give a lesson in physics. I'm not the man for the job. But the book I did read, and it was enrapturing because um, I I was just thinking about this book. I was like, I want to read that one for whatever reason. And I was pretty nervous when I picked it up that I was not going to be able to follow along. And for a lot of it, I wasn't able to follow along. But I feel like I kind of got the gist. And if I went for a second read, I think um, some of his passions would find their way in here. Um, yeah, so that's A Brief History of Time by Stephen Hawking. Um, I, yeah, I've been wanting to do just kind of like uh, find more of a goal or a standard for YouTube videos now. So, not really the place to say it, but it kind of is. I mean, I I want to do book reviews and I want to do music. So if you're uh, interested in those things, then feel free to subscribe because I'm gonna be reading more books. I'm gonna be playing songs sometimes, and if you want to be entertained in that way, go right ahead and subscribe and like the videos so more people can see it, please. But I hope you enjoy your day, and you can tell me in the comments what you're reading, maybe, because it's always interesting to learn what people are learning about, because there's no shortage of topics out there to learn about, and it's always nice to see somebody whose interest is piqued by a topic for whatever reason. So that's it for today. I will talk to you later. Have a great day.